I'm Ron Allum. We started this business after Deepsea Challenger, and what we do, we actually design and build equipment for deep-sea vehicles.
I'm Sophie Allum. I study mechanical engineering. I joined this business in 2019 and I work for him as my boss and my dad. Since I was a kid, always been interested in kind of seeing what he's doing. But I guess it wasn't kind of till I was a bit older that I realised how unusual and amazing it all was. When we were like very little kids, didn't really have any sort of understanding of what he was doing, but we were always around his factory. Then he ended up getting like a bigger factory unit as the project got bigger, and it was kind of just a new environment for us to explore and adventure around. We would always be up in the office or around the factory just seeing what was happening and running past all these amazing drawings and everything. Our show and tell was really interesting. One year I think I brought a water rocket into school and just launched it in the middle of the playground, shot about 30-40 metres into the air. It wasn't until the end of primary school where the expedition was happening, where teachers were making me stand up in front of the class to explain what was happening, and it was the first moment where we were like, this isn't so normal, it's a big deal really what he was doing. Engineering was something definitely stemmed from him, just my interest in kind of seeing what he was doing and how things worked. So all through school I was kind of had this mindset, that's something I wanted to do. I wanted to follow what he was doing because kind of every second thing he was working on was something new and amazing. So ended up coming here and have been working on a lot of interesting things since then.
My dad was a pressure vessel engineer. He worked for his dad, who had the family business in engineering. And now I was involved in scuba diving. I started using scuba tanks, and my dad told me how dangerous they were. I guess I learnt to build things, a sled for cave diving. I bought a welder when I was quite young, and I would weld stuff together. When I met Yvette, we had a couple of little kids. I never believed that they would be cavers or perhaps cave divers. I didn't really expect to get into an engineering family business again. I never encouraged them to do that. They were pretty much free spirits. Really pleased that Sophie has joined us, and quite proud that she's doing mechanical engineering. So it's really win-win.
Engineering is such like a broad space. The marine area is kind of where I want to focus at because all my interests align with that kind of area. Anyone interested, it's such a broad field you can get into where you're just problem solving. There's so many different possibilities of where you can go into it. I've gotten to travel up to the Great Barrier Reef to help with some conservation work up there, so that's been quite a rewarding experience for me. I think it's a bit hard to look at where you ultimately want to end up. I think you kind of want to see where you can go. Don't put a limit on yourself or what opportunities you might find, but constantly trying to do a lot of development, new things, not kind of just the same old, come up with new ideas, new concepts. I keep pushing the limits and the boundaries of what's possible.